Snipers, you have to see what's happening in the Bitcoin price right now, as we just had the first green weekly candle close for Bitcoin after 9 consecutive weeks of red. And check this out, Snipers, the candle symmetry here, extremely bullish. This is what we would call the inverted hammer candlestick, where you have a very minimal shadow below the body of the candle and a long wick to the upside. It's a potential reversal candle, and it's not a coincidence. Bitcoin right now in the micro time frame, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, Snipers, if you support this content. Bitcoin is heading towards the monthly open as we speak, sitting right around 31,700, and we are still inside of our long position. For those on the Discord, we re-entered a long position on June 3rd, and that has already hit its first 3 profit targets. And I am expecting Bitcoin to at least get to test this monthly open here at 31,700. We held above the previous weekly open at 29,491. That is the major support. Keep in mind, it is the weekend, Snipers. This is when the markets are the most manipulated. Maybe by the time you're watching this video, something changes, but the range that we're in has a resistance of 31,700 and a support of 29,491. And right now, if we can get hourly and 4-hour candle confirmations above the monthly open at 31,700, Snipers, that could potentially put Bitcoin in the position to test this extremely important bearish resistance level that could change the storyline over the next few weeks and months. If we can get above this level, sitting right around 33,000 US dollars. More importantly, if we can get to test 34,788, 35,000, that could be a confirmation Bitcoin is ready to at least get a relief rally to test its 200-day moving average, currently sitting right around 41,950, about to cross over the 600-day moving average, which interestingly enough, the 600-day moving average is a very significant level for Bitcoin. Notice how many times Bitcoin has held the 600-day moving average. In the past, you can see when we've come below the 600-day moving average and we've came back up to test it and getting above that, it was the start to a major rally. And the 600-day moving average, even in bear markets, has always held as a major support. We only really get below that during capitulation phases, like what happened in March of 2020. Or if we were to pull up the Bitcoin to money supply chart, you'll be able to see the price action from 2018. Notice how the same thing. We were in a bear market. We got below it. It was the capitulation from the miners. And by the time we got above it, we were able to break into these higher levels. So it is very important right now that Bitcoin is coming up to test its monthly open. We were expecting this. For those that were tuned into the Snipers channel, we knew that Bitcoin was looking like it had all of the justifications to get towards its monthly open and see upside, not downside, based on the 4-dimensional revolving parts, because those are extremely important. That's why we monitor those here on the Snipers channel. Remember, tomorrow, Amazon's stock split from $2,500 a share, now down to $122 a share. This is their first stock split in over 2 decades, and Amazon has a very large weight in the NASDAQ, which we know Bitcoin loves to correlate with. Are we going to be seeing a rally into the open tomorrow? That's on the table. That could even fuel more upside for Bitcoin. And let's quickly talk about the revolving parts because we know how important they are. The S&P 500, as we record this video, opening up green for futures markets, we're still quite bullish here with S&P 500 because what it looks like right now is we have this move to the upside and a bullish flag forming with higher lows that could potentially justify another push back to the upside. And so the S&P 500 is looking good. The DXY also looking good because it's doing the opposite. It has a bear flag right now. After potentially topping out after breaking 20-year highs, this could potentially continue further down to get towards its 20-week moving average, which it's yet to test. That downside move could certainly be very positive for Bitcoin. Let's look at Ethereum. We maintained support here at 1760 inside of the range with a resistance of 1980. If we get any hourly and 4-hour candle confirmations above 1980, it's not a coincidence. The monthly open is sitting right below 1980 right now. If we can get hourly and 4-hour confirmations above 1980, it opens up a very big door for Ethereum to at least potentially get to test 2,500 US dollars. So that's the major level. We know the bears are going to be really trying to defend that level here, right around that $2,000 break even. We have confluence with 1980, the $2,000 level, and the monthly open. So 2,000 is important for Ethereum right now. The Ethereum to Bitcoin chart, we're monitoring this, and we'll continue to monitor this because we're waiting for it to test 65,000 Satoshis, a major support that recently broke. Maybe by the time it tests 65,000 Satoshis, if the bears are truly correct with their thesis that we're going to potentially see further downside, that could be a place that we'll see a potential rejection, at least in the immediate short term. But that's not what we're talking about here on the Snipers channel. We're sticking to the opinion right now that things are looking very good and extremely bullish for Bitcoin to at least get its first bear market relief rally. And so if we can start to see some of these roadblocks get conquered, like the monthly open at 30,700, the bearish resistance level around 33,000, and then 34,788, we're starting to build a case for Bitcoin to have that strong relief rally to test that $40,000 level. At this point, it's 41,950. I'd be very interested to see whether this could potentially trigger timing and allow this move to happen fairly quickly, sooner rather than later, because we're seeing this crossover between the 200-day and 600-day moving average, which we know is very significant. So if something happens, snipers, I will update you guys. We've already taken many long positions here because here on the Discord, we have the #1 cryptocurrency signals on the internet. And we got into a long position around 29,590, and then that went and hit all of its profit targets. And then Bitcoin came back down to close the week to test that weekly open, and we decided to re-enter a position at a better price, 29,530, just a couple bucks less. But our liquidation price has been below the all-time yearly low so far, which is 26,700. Our liquidation price right now is right around 26,400. So that's why we were confident with that position, and that was on 8x leverage. I don't know what leverage you guys are using, but don't use too much leverage. So with that, if we continue to see more opportunities, I know with altcoins, we are starting to see some move to the upside, but let's still be a little bit cautious with the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart continuing to sell off. Maybe we'll entertain some short positions on altcoins once we start hitting resistance levels. We'll see. Things are still maturing. What we do know right now is that we had a very bullish weekly candle close, a potential reversal weekly candle close, and that could trigger Bitcoin to see further upside. As a matter of fact, before I wrap up this video, because we just had this weekly close, I also want you to look at this weekly candle here and notice how this long wick actually surpassed the candle highs of the 2 previous weeks. And so this is certainly considered a bullish weekly candle in my opinion, especially because it's the first green candle that we've got after over 9 consecutive weeks of red candles. The S&P 500 has actually already seen some upside from its recent lows. Bitcoin hasn't caught up to that yet because of all the drama with Luna recently. And so maybe we see a correction for Bitcoin to get back towards some of the levels that the S&P 500 is testing in the market structure, which means that we move higher, potentially above that monthly open. So Bitcoin, major resistance, 30,700 US dollars, where we have our monthly open, major support at the previous weekly open, and that's at 29,491. That's the range Bitcoin is in. Ethereum inside of a tight range, support of 1760 and a resistance of 1980. Let's see what happens, snipers. Thank you all for tuning into the channel this Sunday. Have an amazing week. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm if you support this content, and I will see you guys next time. Snipers.